But, Corey, what about the dance that I asked Stephen about, how his party now, in one foul swoop, geez, isn't it convenient, where the faction of Albo is now going to be in total control of the party, which means the battles in the past about turnbacks, the policy consequences about where this lands Labor is way closer to the Greens than it does to the centre. This actually puts the Labor Party further away from winning a general election, and these are the types of things that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but further left control of the Labor Party is going to drag them into the ditch. Fine by me, because I'm happy with this government, but not great for the contest.
Well, Paul, it's a step towards the Jeremy Corbyn version
Correct.
of Labor, which has been marked by anti-Semitism, no anchoring in reality, this wokeness, this attack on Western civilization. And for all its flaws, the Labor right, I should say, but the Victorian right, New South Wales right and South Australian right have been a bit of a force for common sense within Labor. And sometimes they get carried away with themselves, clearly, as has happened in Victoria recently. But, you know, you can't abandon a once proud political party to a bunch of militant leftists. And Anthony Albanese can pretend that he's not, but he's captive to it, the wokeness that's there. And if I can just return briefly to the disparaging comments between Pauline and Stephen, I think there is a marked difference between pushing the internal limits of an organisation and whether that is illegal or it's just in breach of the organisation's constitution, and what Pauline was talking about, which is allegations of corruption in probity with public money and throwing them out to various things. So, you know, how the Labor Party, and if crimes have been committed internally, they can deal with that. They probably won't deal with it. But anyway,
of course they won't, please.
But there is a marked difference between ministers handing out money to their mates.
Well, also don't forget too, but also don't forget too here is that, remember, you know, the cash in the Aldi bags from New South Wales? Oh, that's right, Albo, of course, had nothing to do with that culture either. But there was actually a report that was produced. It was, again, one of these smothers, an internal smother of the people. Well, guess what happened? The report sat there and nothing happened. There has been no action taken against branch stacking that's been happening in Western Sydney. Here's Gladys Berejiklian, the New South Wales Premier, making the most of it.
Well, I think this is if the reports proved that certain members of the parliamentary team in the Labor Party in New South Wales have intentionally falsified records, that is a serious offence. That is a serious offence and needs to be treated seriously. Many colleagues, many members of Parliament have been disciplined for far less. And I would urge the Labor leader to do as her Victorian counterpart has done.
Liberal Senator James Patterson says all of this kind of leads back to one person who has to do some explaining.
For days, Anthony Albanese has been telling us that the reforms that he spearheaded in the New South Wales division of the Labor Party were evidence that he could solve the problems in the Victorian division of the Labor Party. It turns out, surprise, surprise, that branch stacking is just as an endemic problem in New South Wales Labor. The faceless factional men will continue to run the Labor Party, whether they're branch warlords like Adam Somyurek or union officials. And God forbid, if Anthony Albanese ever becomes Prime Minister, they'll run him too.
Stephen, I get it. You're going to push back against the Team Blue there, but what do you say?
Come back to a couple of points you make, because you've made some genuinely important points that I'd like to respond to.
Please.
So firstly, the issue around public monies being used in the way that has been described in the newspapers and you described today, well, I suspect be part of an investigation. And it shouldn't go on. That is an unacceptable way for the party to behave, but there's no outcome of that investigation yet. But I'd be shocked if that wasn't included in the investigation. Mm-hmm. That's the first point. Secondly, I think I can count a bit better than apologies to all three of you, the internal machinations of the ALP National Conference. And just to give you a quick head count, at the last National Conference, the National Right, Bill Shorten, had 218 votes. 199 is 50%. Mm-hmm. 10 quotas out of the 20 quotas to be elected to the ALP National Executive is 190 votes. So the NUW
help us out. People are turning off by the second.
Unions. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but I want to explain to you why you couldn't be more wrong.
No, then fine.
I know a few facts. Or might make people turn the show off, but apologies for that. Okay, so NUW have changed sides. There's about 14 votes gone there. And then
stacking.
Then this is the national conference, and I do know a bit about it. I've counted every ballot for the last 25 years.
So the party's not going to move to the left?
The party will have a finer balance, but ultimately the right will still have 10 out of the 20, exactly the same as it's got today on the ALP National Executive, which runs the body.
All right.